I'm Lyle Rath.
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 I'm Lyle Rath. And this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show.
Let's make one thing clear. Video games are always happening, even while you sleep. There's no stopping them. You can't. That's why I'm here, to make sure they don't sneak up on you. I'm Lyle McDouchebag, and this is a show on Destructoid that I haven't named yet, and it also might change depending on how reception is to this one. Catchy title, right? Also, the catchy title right part is part of the title too, and so is the sentence. SEO that shit, I'll be in my trailer. I want my goddamn million views! Anyway, here's what video games did this week. Space. Since the dawn of time, we have looked to the stars and thought, man, fuck those things. You know what we got down here? Video games. I'm Lyle McDouchebag with Destructoid, and I'm here to tell you what video games did. Like, all over the carpet. Video games, nihilism, something something, my show doesn't have a name, ha 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 ha! You gotta deconstruct before you reconstruct, and you're gonna have to reconstruct that squishy fucking head of yours so you don't toughen that skull up. I'm Lyle McDouchebag with Destructoid, and I got drunk before recording this because it's a very slow week for video games. God, get your shit together, Nintendo! In the beginning, God said, "Let there be video games." And Adam was like, dude, I ain't even invented electricity yet, shit. And then we did invent it, and by the time we did, God was already long dead. The end. I'm Lyle McDouchebag, and this is a show on Destructoid that I shall christen Baby Fingers. If you think the show should be called Baby Fingers, comment, please don't call the show Baby Fingers down below. And if you don't think the show should be called Baby Fingers, please comment, definitely call the show Baby Fingers. I think that that's probably the best and most straightforward way to do this. Hello and welcome to Baby Fingers, the show that I took a vote on whether or not you should call Baby Fingers, and the answer was unanimously kinda confusing. But never fear, just like any great democracy, your votes are actually worthless and don't matter. That said, welcome to Custard of Love. Everybody loves custard. Got the body for some love custard. I'm Lyle McDouchebag with Destructoid, and I have to report the news on video games to distract me from the screaming anger in the core of my soul. Video games. What can be said about video games? You love them, you hate them, and sometimes you make a news show about them where the name of the show changes every week and everybody gets frustrated. Hello and welcome to You Have to Wake Up, You're in a Coma, the show where they want to pull the plug. Please give me any sign that you're still here, you don't have much time. I'm Lyle McDouchebag with Destructoid, and this is a video game news show for August 10th, 2017, a date of no particular significance. Hey, have you ever wondered what video games think about while they're off? Wow, if you said yes, sit on your fucking hands and stare at the wall. The adults are talking about video games. Look, it doesn't matter. The show has a name now, and if it has a name, you can't kill it. That is the actual legal law. I know a whole lawyerist, and he told me that. That said, welcome to Pregame Discharge, the show that came too early before we could even call out its name. I'm Lyle McDouchebag with Destructoid, and if you don't watch this show, video games will die. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I haven't slept in a couple of days, so let's just skip the intro. Welcome to Pregame Discharge, the show where if I start screaming about shadow people, just let them take me. I'm Lyle McDouchebag from Destructoid, and I can actually physically feel my own blood right now. You know what it's telling me? It's telling me to tell you about video games. Drinking water. Everybody does it, but is it racist? The answer may shock you. This is Pregame Discharge, the most politically conscious video game news show to ever exist. I'm Lyle McDouchebag with Destructoid, and I'm lying to you. I'm lying to you. Just like any political show, I'm lying to you. What if the Mario, but political? What if the Tetris, but political? All right, sit down. We're gonna get a little real this week. I know I usually open up with a joke, but I feel like this has to be said, and it's important just for everybody. All right, so they say life is about the simple things. You live, you love, you eat the good pussy, you get gout, and then you die of gout. But what they don't tell you is that there's these toys for children that eat your fucking money. It's important. It's important to play them, because if you don't, you'll probably end up married and happy, and I care about you, and I don't want that to happen, and I know you don't want that to happen either. So if you ever feel like you don't want to gamble real money for useless cosmetic items in video games that'll be obsolete in a year anyway, what you need to do is you need to reach out and you need to get help, because that's not okay. It's not okay to feel that way. I'm Lyle McDouchebag with Destructoid, and this is Pregame Discharge, the most sincere video game show on the internet. Now take a deep breath. Sup, idiot? Not to sound too cool for the room, but I don't have a lot of time this week because I'm moving from a cardboard box into a slightly bigger cardboard box. So this episode's gonna be a little short, like that guy from Game of Thrones. You know, the short guy from Game of Thrones? That's your first story, is the best Game of Thrones reference and most astute ever has been made. There's story number one. By the way, I'm Lyle McDouchebag with Destructoid, and this is Pregame Discharge, the show that definitely has a working familiarity with Game of Thrones.
People of video games, we are upon the dawn of a new era, the brink of a new age. For we have been blessed with the visage of Mario's nipples. Bereft are they of any flaws, perfect by design. In a post-nipple era, but one question remains. 'Tis not, is there a god? To ask this question would belie the divinity of the nipple. Nay! It is, who is the enemy of the nipple, and what course must we take to destroy it? I am Lyle McDouchebag with Destructoid, and this is Pregame Discharge, the show that has attempted thrice to start a cult to no avail.
Oh, look at you with your flat hands and your calm demeanor, sitting there with your guard down like you're just watching an internet video, with no fear that you might get kicked in the eyes. I bet you're not even wearing eye shields. Not like me. I wear the eye shields and the protective leathers, and that is why I am not only a superior warrior, but also why I reel in the heaviest gash and the hottest slash. I'm Lyle McDouchebag with Destructoid, and this is Pregame Discharge, the video game news show that has 3 arms. Some people say that I am too negative, and you know what? That's a very fair criticism. So today, we're gonna start the show off with a little bit of motivation. So just remember, you are great, you are going to do great, and you're pregnant. That's right, you're pregnant. Remember how pregnant you are. Hold on to that feeling of pregnancy. You are pregnant, and don't let anyone tell you otherwise, especially not a doctor. All right, now that everybody is nice and motivated, I'm Lyle McDouchebag, and this is Pregame Discharge, the video game show that gets you up and moving and a grooving. You're doing a groove. You're in a rut. You're stuck. You're here forever. Yeah, I play video games, and I watch sports, and I do CrossFit. Okay, listen, I need you to just get over it. Yeah, I don't fit into your boxes. I'm sorry I don't like labels, okay? Get off my back. Oh, what's that? Is that a katana behind me? And a bronze medal for the Junior Kendo Championships from 2006? Remember, this is the day I spared your life despite all the ignorant things you've been saying. Okay, that's enough of that. I'm Lyle McDouchebag with Destructoid, and this is Pregame Discharge, the show that starts weird sometimes and ends weird almost all the time. And we talk about video games. A wise man once said, math stuff, I have a college degree. Then he fucking died and didn't pass on his genetics because that shit doesn't get you anywhere in life. You know what will get you everywhere? Video games. If you go to an airport and show them a video game, they will put you on a plane. Doesn't matter where you're going, they don't know, you don't know either. The only thing anyone knows is that you love adventure because you play video games. Don't be the math guy. That guy fucking sucked. I'm Lyle McDouchebag with Destructoid, and this is Pregame Discharge, the video game news show that's got it all figured out. You know how the old saying goes, a video game a day makes the doctor say, you should probably go out in the sun more, you're not getting enough vitamin D. Which is when you say, I'll give you some D. Think you're so goddamn smart with your fancy degree, why didn't you see that coming? Don't worry, you'll get another opportunity. Yeah, take that with your stable 6 figures, bitch! Who's the loser now? Certainly not I, who plays video games. I'm Lyle McDouchebag with Destructoid. This is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show with a doctorate. They do work like championship belts in wrestling, right? Gentlemen, ladies, let me just apologize in advance for 2 things. Number 1, your burning sexual desire to have angry intercourse with me, which no doubt persists throughout these episodes. And number 2, if you're hearing construction noises, there's not really a lot I can do about that. The thing about doing a weekly video game show based on news is that recording is very specifically time sensitive, and I need a fucking moat because the barbarians will be at my gates soon, and that is also time sensitive. It's sensitive time right now. We're all sensitive. Let's have a cry. I'm Lyle McDouchebag with Destructoid, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show either unprofessional or dedicated enough to come to you from the middle of a construction site. God damn it. Dear video games, who do you think you are? With your buttons and your joysticks? I'll push your button with my joystick. Now it appears we've mutually threatened each other with a good time. So let me make a proposition to you, video games. As you may well know, I am the greatest video gamist to ever live. And as such, my skills have allowed me to procure all the honeys. I am prepared to relinquish several honeys back into the ecosystem so that we may continue to proliferate the human race. But first, you must do one thing for me, video games. Memory cards. Bring them back, and larger in physical size, thank you. I'm Lyle McDouchebag with Destructoid, and this is Pregame Discharge, the show that what am I doing? What am I doing with my whole entire life? What up, you Gone with the Wind watching fuck ass? I know why you're here. You're here to mock the proud art of talking about video games on the internet with your so-called taste in classical cinema. I've got my eye on you, and you've got your eye on a film that is full of people who are dead now. So why don't you just take your fucking wind and be gone with it already? Because I'm tired of your judgment, and I'm tired of your bullshit. I'm Lyle McDouchebag with Destructoid, and this is Pregame Discharge. The video game, the show about video games that probably just frustrated one very specific person and just confused a bunch of other ones. Why am I allowed to drink before I record these? That's the question we're gonna get to the bottom of today. We're gonna start this episode off on a little bit more of a serious note. One of the things that I see people say to me a lot is, wah, you were mean to a video game that I like. I'm a little baby, goo goo gaga, I hunger for delicious excrement. Which is valid, and I think it needs to be addressed. So the reason that I'm sometimes harsh on video games, and bear with me, because this is going to be a little bit hard to believe, video game companies don't have control over the afterlife. Now, I know that a lot of you are probably scratching your heads because you think, if I don't defend Nintendo on online forums as they take my money, I'll go to hell when I die. But no, actually, I read up on it, and the concept of the afterlife existed well before video games. Turns out, you only go to hell if you don't play the stock market. So kick back, relax, buy a big ol' bouquet of stocks, stop defending Warner Brothers Interactive's inclusion of loot boxes in a single-player game, and enjoy this week's episode of Pregame Discharge, the only video game show ever. Okay, I can't believe that I'm the first person to bring this up, but this show is a manifesto first and a comedic video game news show second. The ocean. How come we haven't gotten rid of that fucking thing yet? And why is everyone too scared to say it? All right? First of all, it's too goddamn big,
and we should be bigger than it. So that's the first problem. Problem 2, you can't drink it. It's like the only redeeming quality of water, and the ocean doesn't have it. Fucking get rid of it. We're all thinking it. What, are we trying not to hurt its feelings? I propose that we kill the ocean and move its corpse to another planet that's already shitty, like Jupiter. Fuck you! I'm Lyle McDouchebag, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that sees the real problem. My friends, this is going to be a rough episode for me, for I have drinking in the foulest of poisons. But for the first time in a long time, I see clearly. Do I feel like there's a large, sharp object lodged in the center of my skull? Yes. Am I acutely aware to an unsettling degree of the existence of my own teeth? Of course. Would I perhaps rather be dead than here right now? That's a possibility. But I have seen beyond the veil, and let me tell you, it's a shit show. If death cannot claim me yet, then he is a fool, and I refuse to attend his birthday party. I'm Lyle McDouchebag with Destructoid, and this is Pregame Discharge, the video game news show that if I throw up in the middle of it, I'm gonna record it and just leave it in there. Oh, shit. Oh, God. Oh, man, I just got back. I've been in the future. Man, I got like 16 people that ethically I should probably be killing right now. And you're probably asking yourself, what happened? Do we run out of bees? Do those Boston Dynamics fellers finally go too far? Is it like the movie Volcano from 1997? That wasn't a very good movie. No, I'm not gonna say too much because I don't want to freak you out, ruin your day. But if you thought whales were bad when they were in the ocean, let's just say maybe we're better off with lamp oil than with ground whales. Anyway, I'm Lyle McDouchebag, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that saves the world like every other week. There are two types of people in this world. One kind of person is weak, slippery, thinks about food when they're not even hungry. Yet when their mettle is tested in a fight for survival, do they grow a beard and kill nature? I don't know. Probably not. The other kind of person is me. You think you have the facts, you haven't even heard them yet. You think you've heard the word, you don't even understand it. The only thing you stand under is a dumbfounded, slack-jawed state of shock. Just staring at the two of us, wondering if you're seeing double. No, I exist in all times and all realities a same, including this one twice. And if we touch, the universe will collapse on itself. If that makes you nervous, then you haven't been paying attention. I'm Lyle McDouchebag, and welcome to Pregame Discharge, a show about video games and don't think nothing else of it, you fucking dullard. What year is it? How long have I been frozen for? A clicking machine with buttons and sticks asked me for my credit card so I could buy fake coins to use on fake clothes for a fake person. Is any of this even real? Are you real? Am I real? Video games! Hello from space and welcome to Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that tell you what it knows. Hey kids, get your hands off your honkin' hole. The only hole you need is hold some family content. What am I talking about? You know, when I first staggered in here, I thought that this was going to be a colossal waste of my time. But now I see that my time is probably worthless anyway. And I think that that's the real lesson here, is that video games waste everything and nothing. Speaking of wastes, you might want to watch those waist lines, children. You're getting a little bit doughy. And speaking of lines, I probably should just draw it right here and start the goddamn show. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that mocks what I guess are fictional children. All right, let's get down to brass tacks. It's the current year. Isn't it about time you woke up? And I'm not talking hashtags here. What I'm saying is, if you want to think the floor is made of lava, you have to realize that the ceiling is the floor to the roof. As a matter of fact, everything is the floor to something. We're all the floor in a way if you really think about it. But I don't want to get stuck here talking about quantum lava. We have more important shit to discuss. Besides, if you've been following, you'll realize that you're back where you started, which is nowhere. Which is just as much where as anywhere is. Philosophy is nothing but a snake
shark biting its own tail that isn't immune to its own venom, which though lacking is an apt metaphor. I give it a metaphor out of Meta 5. Everyone's a Metacritic, and every Metacritic has its metamorphosis. I met a person who said, hey, maybe you should talk about video games now, to which I'd say, yeah, good point. That person was me. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the video game show that's really more of a video game tell. Rend me unto death. All right, that's it. I've had it. Nobody's saying it, so I'm gonna be the one to say it. It is 2018, and science, you made some goddamn promises that you're not delivering on. Everybody's talking about the flying cars and the jetpacks, but you know what? I'm even willing to let those slide. Elon is a busy guy. I trust he'll get around to it. I'm sure by now, you know exactly what my problem is. Unfucking believable, you people. In the 90s, we were promised that video game characters would A, jump out of the TV, or B, reach out of the TV and then pull us into the TV, and adventure would ensue. I am not even seeing the slightest attempt to pursue TVs as otherworldly portals to different realities. I mean, this is something we've been conceptualizing since CRTs, yet we've gone from 1080 to 4K, and I have seen nary a video game character either jump out of or pull me into the TV. This is some who killed the electric car shit, and I am gonna get to the bottom of it. I am Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that wants you to be pulled into the TV. My friends, where doth the river run backwards? When doth the rain pour upwards? When will the goddamn sky take all this stupid water back and just leave us here with what we really need? Vagina. You thought I was gonna say video games, didn't you? Well, predictability is the death of anything that would have been meant to survive, and I will tell you something right now. I am a survivor. You gotta eat to live, and the only things I eat are my vegetables and cold hard pussy. You know this. Clean yourself up off the floor and call me sometime, but for now I got a show to run. I'm Lyle Rath, and welcome to Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that gets you going before we go. The term manifesto gets thrown around a lot these days, but so does the phrase, Lyle, you're a genius, you should write a manifesto. Now, while I may be attractive and brilliant and humble and buff and attractive and cooler than everybody else, the show isn't about me. I agree, it should be, but it's really about video games. Because at the end of the day, I am but one man, but video games, look at them all. Look at all these men! Men! I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that had to do a double take on what I just said. Alright, I'm here to lay down the law, so listen the fuck up. Long hens make long eggs, long lives meet long ends. That's a haiku for Hi You, and Hi Me has shit to do, so don't think too far into what I just said, because that's not actually a haiku. It was just a fucking poem. That was just a fucking poem. Don't shake your spear at me, you whiny bitch. I'm off to fucking Canada. You have any idea how easy it is to lose a corpse in the snow? Because you can find out, or you want to keep testing me on my iambic pent-up rage. Now, put your pretentious creative writing degree back where you found it, because I'm about to school you real time. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that will put you in that fucking snow, so help you God. And if he wants a piece of me, I'll take him too. Oh, hi. I totally saw you there. In fact, I saw you there before you were there. Let me explain to you a little something. In quantum mechanics, I just realized this topic is probably a little bit over your head, so I'm just gonna make it nice and simple. Something is amiss around here. Now, it'd be eggs, ice, toilet paper, and cheese. So if you could go get some of those from the store, I've got to take care of that gold screaming guy in the corner, because you probably don't see him yet, do you? I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show where... Oh, yeah, there he is. By the way, brown eggs. I know they probably don't actually taste any different. For some reason, I feel like I like them better. Yeah, okay, fine! There is a time before space. There is a land before time. 2. It had like a little T-Rex or something in it. This is stupid. Can we
Port this. No, we're kicking it down the stairs. We're getting the coat hanger. This is a fucking video game show. Land Before Time 2 was 47 years ago. Did you know that the original Super Mario Brothers was discovered by the Pilgrims? Do you remember Pong on the Atari? Do you remember Constantinople? I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that know where to go. Get you a martini so well shaken it'll be like you as an infant. And I don't think I didn't notice the shape of your head. It's alright, turned out fine. Alright, I didn't want to have to do this, but it is time that I dispel some slanderous lies about me and my character. Namely that I, quote, am just fucking around and, quote, don't know what I'm doing here. First of all, where am I? Second, if the people making these allegations are so goddamn smart, how come they don't host the only video game show on the internet? I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge. Seriously, it's the only video game show. No other ones exist. Don't even bother looking, because you'll not find another. Of this I promise. Why am I speaking in this strange manner? Doth an aneurysm take hold of me, perchance? Verily do I yearn for it to act with haste. My friends, this week I find myself adrift through the cosmic unknown. My lust for vengeance has taken me off-world, for a beacon has come forth from that one planet. The one with the dickhead on it. You know who you are, and I heard what you said. So cold are the wincing screams of space, shrieks ringing out through the nebulous void as though the kung fu grips of a drunken madman are collapsing the vocal cords of somebody who thought that I wouldn't be coming for him, that maybe I would have better things to do, and that has severely underestimated my abundance of free time and access to interplanetary travel. God, why didn't I bring something to read? Anyway, if you hear that sound, don't call anybody. That's just the sound that space makes. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that probably took this too far. Hey, have you guys ever spent all night coughing your lungs out and then gone, hey, I really want to record a video game show with a throat full of boogers? Then once again, I find myself living your dream, my friend. As though all the gorgeous women I've sexed and space karate tournaments I've won were not enough. I get to have this too. It's not fair, I know, but you've got to have something to aspire to, right? I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show where... Oh, fuck. That was real. That was genuinely kill me. Hey, what's up? Oh, that? I come down now on a thunderbolt sometimes. It's not important. What is important is that there is another kind of storm brewing. A storm of video games doing a big ol' happen. And you don't know about it yet. As G.I. Joseph used to espouse, knowing is half the battle. And you should really listen to that guy because he's jacked as fuck and has seen death. Would you arm wrestle him? Would you go visit him in the psych ward and challenge him to a test of physical strength? I don't think so. That's why I'm here. To get the answers to the questions you didn't even know to ask yet. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that keeps you on your toes. You ever just get tired of it, man? You ever get tired of these suits always telling you what to do? You ever get tired of these walls that society builds? Well, I don't. I don't even own a bed, because I don't get tired. I get even. I wall the suits and I suit the walls and I fuck my goddamn hand when I'm done. You know why? Because that's the bow to playing society like a fiddle. This is the revolution, bitch, and me and these two topless Korean girls making out on my screen are starting it. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is the only video game show that would just like to move on now. Well, if it isn't you again. I've had it about up to here with you. And if you had it about up to here with me, maybe you'd be here right now to say it to my face. I bet you'd be all like, and I'd say something like, do you realize how stupid you sound? And that might really make you take a look in the mirror for once and realize I've been you all along. You need to get yourself together. You need to stop drinking before you record your show. You need to stop doing this to the people around you. But you'll never learn. You'll just fall deeper into the cycle that you've been in for years, and you'll blame it on everybody else because you are a fucking moron. And I am Lyle Rath. Wrath! Welcome to Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that's fucking fine, alright? Hey Lyle, are you gonna do one of those things where you talk about E3? What is this? Evolution is a terrifying thing, but I wouldn't know because I've evolved past the need for fear. I have opened my third eye, and before me I witness the third E, a beast that feeds upon excited shrieks and broken promises. I am Lyle Wrath, and this would be Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that stands between me and vengeance. But not today, because you already know what's going down. Today, I get to be kind of a dick, for there is but one slippery little law that remains in this land. Sing along if you know the words. No game, no hype, those is the rules. Let's fucking do this! Don't call it a comeback. I never stopped coming. My hot paste of passion is the mortar the bricks of this house were laid on. You may think that's vile, but it's nothing compared to the disgusting malady that is bureaucracy. This is a show about video games. Welcome to the goddamn party. I just want to spend my days eating weed-awana in the cool glow of the mortality orb, but you fucking Poindexters keep pulling me back in. I'm Lyle Wrath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that wades into the murky blood sea of baby toys and still emerges hungrier. Oh man, it's been a nice break. Did you miss me? Hello and welcome to a very special episode of Pregame Discharge. What makes it special, you ask? Well, you do. Because as we all know, you can't spell Pregame Discharge without you. This is a family company, and we've been family since the year 1965, when the first episode of Pregame Discharge aired to televisions across America, touching the hearts and imaginations of children and adults alike. A lot has changed since then, but we still keep those core values and principles alive. So why don't you come and join us? I'm Lyle Wrath, this is Pregame Discharge, you're in a coma, and the simulation is shutting down soon. Hey, you may be wondering why I'm underwater this week. Let me reassure you that I did not get banished from land, as allegations have stated. I can go to the surface whenever I want, and any claims that my mortal enemy has been promoted to upper management are outright false. Dave and I are on very good terms, and I would like for you to respect his privacy whilst he recovers from karate-related injuries and deals with the infidelity within his marriage, neither of which have anything to do with me. Dave is a great man with a soft face, a heart of gold, and a jaw of glass. I'm Lyle Wrath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that has not been exiled to the sea and is down here completely by choice. All right, I've been up all night, but I've finally cracked it. You think the world is round? Wrong. You think the world is flat? Wronger. The truth? It's a goddamn triangle. And if you're thinking, ooh, a triangle like the Illuminati and their providential eye, you're a fucking sheep. You're a sheep of a different flock. Expand your mind until you can comprehend that a triangle means you just try angling it a little more like this and bam, there, look at that, JFK's face. This image has been dated for August 30th, 1916, the day before JFK's conception. I'll be honest with you, I have not worked out all the kinks yet. Look, Rome wasn't built in a day, but it was built by Martians. I'm Lyle Wrath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that they haven't fucking gotten to yet. Ah, what a beautiful day. The sun is shining, the birds are shining, the trees are shining. Why is everything shining? Am I in hell? Is that what's happening here? Well, I take it back. Today is shit. But a little shining birdie told me that you wanted to hear about video games. And since we're here for an eternity, apparently, until I dig my way out, you're probably gonna end up staying. This plan kind of calls for a distraction, so you know what? Doesn't matter. Video games are happening. Let's talk about them. I'm Lyle Wrath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that waking death can't hold. All right, everybody listen up. I know one of you has it, and nobody is leaving this room until I've gotten it back. I speak, of course, of the Diamond of Souls. I have many enemies who have wanted to claim it, and all of you here are my closest enemies. I mean that. I really do mean that. You guys have been here for me through thick and thin. Whenever I've needed an enemy, you guys have stepped up to the plate. And you know what? Maybe that's the real Diamond of Souls. It's been right in front of me this whole time, and I I've been too blind to see it. You know, it's funny to think that all this time you've been drawing from its power and yet are still woefully underprepared to face me. But sometimes it's not about the destination. It's about the journey. And you're about to take a journey down these fucking stairs. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show to balance the scales of eternity. Namaste, bitch! You may be wondering why we're in the dojo today. That's because I've invented a new form of meditation. The problem with the old one is everyone was just sitting there thinking about nothing like a slack-jawed idiot. That's why I revolutionized it, so check it. Instead of thinking about nothing, I think about everything at the same time. And then I condense those thoughts into one really smart super thought. And you may be going, whoa, how smart could it be? Look, you ever seen Good Will Hunting? I haven't, but I thought about it. Boom, mic drop, eat a dick. Welcome to Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that fuck you. So you think you've won, huh? I can see it in your beady little eyes, the arrogance that belies a fool that don't know nothing about no video games. You come here seeking knowledge, and for what? I've locked it away behind 6 Jaeger bombs. Disgusting little things, are they not? I don't know why anyone drinks these if not to numb oneself from the banal torture that is your bitch ass. The pilgrimage is long and you have done well, but you failed to account for the fact that I don't want to fucking do it. I don't want to. Fine, okay. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that can decipher the ancient scrolls. You know, a wise man once said to me, with great power comes typically a jewel or an orb or some sort of thing to contain it, and if you lose that, you're fucked. Needless to say, I took that guy's power orb, and if he was so wise, he should have seen that coming. Meaning his advice is probably worthless, as is this stupid orb, taking up valuable space on my mantle and ruining the feng shui of the room. They say that a tidy workspace is the canvas by which a painter drafts his own destiny. I say that's pretentious. You may be wondering what I'm getting at here with this terrible advice given by idiots. Well, that's the crux of all this, isn't it? Philosophy is like a game of badminton against yourself. It's sad, and if you get into it, you probably have too much free time on your hands. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show to recognize the great cosmic irony of its own intros. Yeah, I'm aware. Let's move on. Oh, hi. You might be wondering why I'm drinking alone. It's because I'm having a party and told only people that I think are cool to show up. But you came anyway, so pull up a stool, I guess. It's been a hell of a ride so far, bro jangles. I've sought revenge across the land, the sea, space, the future, the afterlife, I think. I'm pretty sure blood at one point. Look, I'm a man of many hats, but one I would never wear is a fucking fedora, a relic of the same kind of poor judgment that might lead one to challenge me. But today I don the conic cap of partying because we made it to 50 fucking episodes, bromigos, and if that isn't an excuse to drink, then I don't have an excuse. I don't need an excuse. Get off my back. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that your perfectly good eyeballs need. You know, some people have accused this show of being lowbrow. They say things like, this video game news show is never going to be the 1941 cinema-defining film Citizen Kane. Where is the symbolism? Forsooth. To these people I say you are weak. Symbolism is the language of cowards. Look at this symbol. It's worthless. It's not enriching jack shit, as opposed to a big masculine letter like this R. How about you use it to spell a word like runge-forsto? That's a turbo verb, and it means I can smash as many dumbass snow globes as I damn well please. I don't need any excuse. I mean, by all means, go analyze it anyway, but I guarantee you the deeper meaning is just gonna be what it always is, which is you're a nerd, and also, ooh, society! I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that runs forstos on the go. A lot of ye uninformed heathens say things to me like, Lyle, these outlandish scenarios you come up with are so creative. How long does it take you to write this? So listen up, because I'm only gonna say this once. I don't
write this show. I'm too busy righting the wrongs of this shattered timeline. You're welcome, by the way. In the last 12 of these, you didn't exist. Time is worthless, but it's a fickle thing to waste, and also your parents have horrible chemistry. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that teaches your dad how to please a woman. Society. What does it even mean? I hear all you people saying that we live in a society. That's false. The only two things I live in are a fortress of death and a constant state of awareness. You can't sneak up on me. I see you there. Didn't even have to turn around. Idiots, the lot of ya. Society is an illusion, and if I can pen and tell you one thing about illusions, it's that they ain't magic. Did you let that sink in for a second? You'd see that most of the things in front of you aren't even really there if you'd actually open your eyes for once. These optometrists think they're so much better than me, but I'll make them see, just like I've made you see today. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that doesn't say anything as it says everything. I'm a drifter, just drifted into town. I met a guy drifting on the way here, and he was like, I'm on a spiritual journey, my wife left me. And I'm like, bitch, I'll show you drifting. Basically what I'm saying is when you meet that guy, spit in his acoustic guitar and tell him his cowboy boots look stupid. I don't have a grudge. It's not like I regret making the horrible decision to directionlessly travel across this country, bragging in bars about how cool I am because I saw him doing it. I was gonna do it anyway. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show where, yeah, Nebraska's great, I'm glad I'm here. Canada. Or as I like to call it, Alaska's Mexico. A place where great battles are fought, and home to the most lit gaming convention on the planet. They've asked me to stop calling them that. I won't. EGLX is the most lit gaming convention on the planet. It's in Toronto from October 26th to October 28th, and on the 27th I'll be facing off with the Yellow Menace himself. Zero Punctuation's Yahtzee Croshaw will be on the main stage with something called a sex T-Rex, and if that's anything like what it sounds, I'm very excited. It's been a long time since I've had a proper nemesis, especially one that wasn't a big old doofus. You know who you are. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show with an extra thumb in its... Okay, I don't want to go there. They say a man without vengeance is like a fish without stilts. Worthless. Smelly. Shorter. God, I hate it. But once the fish is on stilts, the right person will be terrified, and everyone else will just laugh, because that's preposterous, right? You know, every week we do this, and we learn a lot, or at least I think you do. I'm done internalizing knowledge. I've already sanctioned that part of my brain off for vengeance and stilts. My point is, never stop growing, even if it's artificially. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that is canonically the sequel to The Art of War. My friends, we stand at the precipice of a new era, and I already dropped my watch down there, so... you know, there's kind of no going back now. For you see, time often slips away, and so to master it, you too must be slippery. For 40 days and 40 nights, I have oiled myself, and that is how I caught my watch. The new era can wait. Suck it, progress, but the show must begin. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show to subdue the revolution of time itself. God damn it! Hey guys, listen, I don't say this a lot, but you know what? I was wrong. I was wrong to think that I couldn't be more humble, but now I see that I am. And in a way, that makes me right. So maybe I wasn't really wrong. I just had to say I was wrong to be right. I'm glad we worked that out. Anyway, you're Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that found him! He's right here! So it all comes to this, doesn't it? You think you got it all figured out, huh? You think you got the puzzle all put together? Well, I got some news for you. Every piece is wrong, and the opposite of peace is war. All's fair in love and war. That's why they call it warfare. And I love it. Platonically, though, me and war have a lot of history, mostly written by the victors. Victor, and honestly, we're still trying to work out the kinks. But at this point, it's just about moving forward. It's not about who's still alive in Argentina or whose stupid puzzle is put together wrong. That said, checkmate, I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that can fucking king me. Video games are the great conundrum of life. They always are that which they never were. Like a slippery mother welcoming you back with the same oily arms that dropped you as a child. And even though your ability to empathize with other human beings left you on that cerebrospinal fluid-drenched marble floor, you have to begrudgingly admit that no matter how many times they've let you down, they made you. That's why when people ask me why I'm so fucking cool, I tell them to think about it. For that which is profane is destined to become profound. Fuck you. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that is seen as a threat in the eyes of the gods themselves. Hear ye, servitors of sludge, chewers of goo, citizens of slime. Today you are offered an opportunity to rise up from the doldrums of your soupy dominion and join me in my conquest against the oppression of the Amish! For too long, they've had their boot to the neck of the common man, and I say no more. It should be the year 3000 by now, at least. But their refusal to acknowledge the passage of time has been holding us back. I am done waiting for the clock to turn and the sun to revolve around the earth, while these heathens deny science. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that knows its enemy. You ever find yourself neck deep in the kind of trouble you used to only dream about? Welcome to my world. It's as cold and flat as my ex-wife. How did we get here? Well, as most stories go, it all started with a simple misunderstanding. Cantonese, I think. I don't know. I couldn't understand it, but I never would have guessed that it was a warning about the fucking Amish. Yeah, turns out they're not too fond of internet shows that mock their backwards way of life. Another thing they're fortunately not too fond of is keeping their hands up in fistfights. Guess that's more of a 21st century thing. As is using the internet, that was the whole joke, so I guess the question remains. Is there like the Amish equivalent of a mom I can tell on them so they'll leave me alone? I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that's always got a nut to bust but never to crack. You know, I used to be just like you. Tired, hairless, unmotivated, acutely unaware of the shadowy figure slowly rising up behind you. Don't turn around right now, you're just gonna, you missed him. That was until the day everything changed, when I read my own self-help book. Now I have a 9-figure job, 8 girlfriends, and a gun. I used to sleep in my car, but now I don't even remember what it feels like to cry. We can do this together. Recovery starts with a simple $650 payment without consulting anyone in your family. They'll lie to you. I won't. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that's really more of a mentor figure. Greetings and salutations, friends. Look, I know I spend a lot of time screaming about vengeance, but this holiday season, I just wanted to remind everybody that there were those who doubted me. They thought me a drunken captain asleep at the wheel at half-mast. But I have a vision that not even the silverest John is long enough to comprehend. My white whale could not take any significant appendage from me, for the two are one and the same. And as I sail into the sanded claws of harsh, cold winter to face the great unknown foe that my thirst has driven me to, let the whole world bear witness as I, Lyle Rath, and the whole Pregame Discharge family wish you a warm and happy holidays. Hello there, friends. It's been a while. What have you been up to? Fascinating. I'm proud to report that in my hiatus, I have not only invented the sequel to Sex, but I've also
had it. Honestly, not super into it. Probably something I'd only whip out on somebody's birthday, but hey, you don't go to the moon every weekend either, because you're not me. But maybe if your arms were as strong as you claimed they were, you'd be up here to face me, Lance. Yeah, I know you're the bike guy. Look me in the eye and correct me, you goddamn coward. You won't. You won't. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that Kubrick couldn't fake. Video games are complicated. There's something that we feel like we understand, but we've just barely scratched the surface of. You know, when Mario jumps, you assume he's jumping because you pressed a button. But is that really why he did it? Is that all it is? Or maybe it's a connection. Maybe it's something a little more real. There's a force in this world that we can't explain, we can't comprehend, we can't quantify, but we absolutely know is there. And I think we all know, deep down, you want to fuck Mario. Because in a way, we all want to fuck Mario. Not the character, but the concept. And that's a beautiful thing. I'm Lyle Rath, and welcome to Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that explores the depths of the human condition and Mario's booty hole. Stupid. Another week, another mystery to solve. You know, they call this city the Big Egg, but I don't see anyone turning eyes to look for the big goose that laid it. That's not the mystery, that's just a coincidence. And any private dick worth his genitals doesn't believe in coincidences. I'm gonna crack this case open like the big stupid city of an egg that it is and scramble it up till it looks like Boston. And only once it's a confusing mess will it all make sense, because this is the mystery of the missing mystery, and I solved it before the case even walked through my door. So now that that's out of the way, what can I do you for? I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that I don't always fucking know how to start it, okay? Okay, let's lay all our cards on the table here. I haven't been completely honest with you, and for that, I am a sorry little sausage. For you see, I am a time traveler, not from the future, but from the past. And while I'm being open with everything, I gotta admit, I didn't really think this plan through, and I kinda have no idea what the fuck is going on. Now, if I know me, and I do, the me from this time will probably want vengeance on myself, for I am planning to make many poor decisions. That's why I need to get back to the past, so let's hurry this thing up. I'm Lyle Rath, and I've been told that this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show where—
Oh shit, wait! No, Bitcoin isn't a bubble, it's the needle! I will have vengeance!
What are you doing here? It's not safe for you. This is the action room. This is where I run complex simulations of likely scenarios that I'll have to fight my way through in the future. In this one, my enemies have gained access to the Nebraskan power grid. I call it Corn on the King. I run this one like 6 times a day, cause you know, I'm pretty confident that it's going to happen. I never wanted you to see a future that looks like this. In fact, don't look at it, it's weird. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that says everything, but admits nothing. Quick, identify the nearest sharp object to you. You got 3 seconds. This is a pop quiz and you're dead. Hey there, everyone. I'm here to raise awareness. Just like in general, I don't feel like you're a very aware lot. Did you notice that one of my eyes is slightly greener than the other eye? Because it is. And it has been this whole time. Your tongue doesn't have a natural resting place in your mouth. What's up, bitches? It's fucking Wednesday. And right here, right now, in this moment, no matter when you're watching this, it always will be. Are you aware of it? Or are you a won't of it? If I were you, I wouldn't be. Because I'm Lyle Rath. And this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that's become self-aware. Hi there, fellow humans. You know, believe it or not, I'm a pretty relatable guy. Now, it may seem like I'm always off punching bears on the sun, but that's only one day a week, which is why they call it Wednesday. But that doesn't mean I don't get sad sometimes. I've spent countless hours curled up in the corner thinking about the ticking time bomb that is my appendix and how much easier it would be if I just dug it out myself. And if I had a nickel for every time I've looked over my shoulder today wondering if the creature from the void would come back for the orb that I took from it,
I'd have one. You know, I used to hope that my death would be quick. Now I just hope that it hurts. Because if there's any chance that there's enough left of me to feel something again, I'd do just about anything to find it. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that's just like you.
Can we just take this one easy today? I'm not in a very good mood. I just found out that trees are a conspiracy, and I'm not angry or even surprised, but I am angry that I'm not surprised. Does that make sense? Like, you see them and you're like, that's clearly bullshit. If a guy made them, it'd be way too obvious, but guess what? A guy makes them. All of them. Every single stupid fucking tree, a guy just made it. You know, any little glimmer of optimism or... My whole week was clear. I thought I was way ahead on my vengeance, and now this comes up. Let's just fucking start the show. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that's the first video game show.
So, here we find ourselves again on the great dance floor of destiny. Cause it takes two to tango, one to twerk, and girl, I like how you make that booty work, but this ain't about that. Not this time. This time, it's clocksinal, and the whole world is watching. No, I don't sleep well at night, but when I do, I have one eye open. My third eye. And that's why I see the samba that the spirits dance. And so we find ourselves here again. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that comes full circle before it starts. So it is ye that returns once more, the silent observer that slips unto this realm week by week. Don't think ye have gone unnoticed. Verily, I bequeath to ye a simple question. Do I look like a fucking janitor to you? Cause I spent the last 6 days cleaning up the mess you made. You really pooped the goose on this one, fucko. I mean, do I in any way resemble a Boy Scout? Cause I've been tying up your loose. I'm not doing another one of these. You think you can just come in here and tear open a window to observe another realm without consequences, huh? Cause you can. I get bored during the week. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that bludgeoned a Scape Witch yesterday. All right. I didn't think I had to say this, but I guess I do. It's time we do another Egypt. We've drinking the jelly of pride and thought ourselves above it for too long, but you know what? We need to bust out the sphinxes and the pyramids and show the goddamn aliens that we can do it ourselves. Otherwise, they're just gonna come back and blow us up again, or give us another wacky disease. And you guys are still hung up on polio, so I guess what I'm saying is either start making mummies again or vaccinate your kids. I don't care which. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that we have forklifts now. We wouldn't have to bring back slavery and all that. Namaste, asshole. Nice of you to not knock. Don't worry, I'm not whacking it this time. I'm just finishing up some meditation, so give me a second. I'm pretty fast at this. Fuck, well, I finished. I beat meditation. And, I'm a little torn up about it, I'm not gonna lie, because, you know, I reached enlightenment, I reached around enlightenment, I gave enlightenment the business. And for a while it was good, but then enlightenment got all like, come meet my parents. Are we ever gonna get engaged? What do you think about kids? And look, me and enlightenment are taking a break, and honestly, I think it's more than a break. Can I sleep on your couch? I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that... I fucking tried, man. They say admitting you have a problem is the first step. I say they need to admit that I have the solution, and their problem is that they refuse to step off. I know I sound like a broken record here, but every time we've nuked the sea, it has yielded nothing but positive results, and has also been cool as tits. Fucking look at that. We should blow the bitch up. I don't feel like that's such a hard thing to support, but my so-called support group would rather genuflect to the topic of how drunk I am. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that didn't waste 3 days on this PowerPoint presentation just to have it shot down by imbeciles. Shit! Hello there, I am but a humble delivery man, and I come bearing electricity. Fuck, this is the quickest this has gone south. All right, I'm just gonna be real with you. It's been a long week. Well, week for you, weeks for me. I've been reliving it over and over again. I've tried this, you don't listen.
Damn it. Okay, I'm not gonna tell you why, but when you see the orb, just don't touch it. It's gonna glow, it's gonna be bright, you're gonna want to touch it. Boy, fuck, do you want to touch it? Honestly, I question your sanity at points. Are you like a moth? Or something? It doesn't matter, I'm probably gonna have to have this conversation with you again, but feel free to prove me wrong. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show where I swear to God, don't touch. My friends, as you no doubt know, I have a genius brain with deep and robust rivets. I have invented a machine that can detect trifling across dimensions, and now I seek to enterprise my vengeance to different realms. But even the greatest plans are not without their conundrums, for you see, there are two things that bond me to this world. The first of which is physics, a challenge easily overcome, but the second is my prized Douglas fir tree. It must be watered twice a day, once in the morn and once after the sun falls. I have concluded that this is an unsolvable problem and have suspended my conquest accordingly. Once again, the prospect of interdimensional vengeance has been thwarted by a far more complex dilemma. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show with the solution to every problem but one. Alright, so I'm not saying that I snuck into a secret government facility under the cover of nightfall and discovered what they've been hiding from us all this time, but let's just say, hypothetically, if the Earth was hollow and there were lizards in the middle, I mean, that would explain a lot, right? Like the magma would serve as a big old heat lamp, and, you know, if they wanted to get hyper intelligent down there, there'd be nothing really stopping them. I don't know, just a clandestine thought that I came up with on my own. You don't have to think about it if you don't want to. There's just a lot of gaps in the narrative that were fed that would be easily filled in by, you know what, just forget I said anything. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that is merely speculation, I swear it. Look, it's okay to be mad at me. I understand it. Alright? I knew that winning the Who Knows the Most About Vaginas competition was your dream, and I went for it anyway. But tomorrow is a new day with new opportunities to learn and to grow. And isn't that more valuable than any trophy? Well, no, there's one trophy it's less valuable than, and I already won it. But knowledge can be a burden, and in that sense, you are free now to live life on your own terms. You're welcome. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that makes the ultimate sacrifice for the good of mankind. Alright, let's make this quick, because I got a lot of vengeance to catch up on. I already vengeanced the fish before I came in here. You're welcome. Next up, I got bicyclists. I think that should be a pretty short vengeance. Shouldn't take me that long. If you need me this afternoon, it's gonna have to wait because I have to two-part vengeance bison and also people that use the word literally wrong. Then I have jazzercise class. Then I have to vengeance the jazzercise class. And then I'm free till the end of the day until I have to vengeance the sun, as I do every day, because it's being a bitch. Yeah, I'm talking to you. Were you gonna cry to me to China again while I'm vengeancing your idiot brother the moon? Fuck you! I keep forgetting that you guys haven't discovered that that's alive yet. Just forget I yelled at the sun. Haha, funny joke. Okay, I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that's changed substantially since I started using a day planner, I guess. My friends, I return more powerful than ever before. For you see, I have taken a big bath, but not just any big bath. The biggest bath. Many have challenged me and said things like, I bet I'm better at taking a bath than you. I could beat you in a taking the bath contest. But nay, I have taken the biggest bath and you cannot take it back. The water has already gone down the drain, like your dreams, and the bath itself scattered across dimensions. Is this my pettiest victory yet? Probably, but it is a victory nonetheless. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that remembers to wash behind its ears. I've got the intel, the big scoop, The story they don't want told. I've found every skeleton in every closet, and every Indian in every cupboard. That's not my phrasing, by the way. There's a shitty movie from the 90s called Indian in the Cupboard, where a stupid fucking child finds a tiny Native American man in the cupboard and he tells him he's taken 30 scalps. Look, it was a different time, and the fact that the title is racially insensitive is probably the only thing saving us from a remake of it. Anyway, if it's not apparent by now, I know too much. Don't bother looking for me. I'm a shadow, a ghost in the wind. To try to find me would be moot, and you don't want to be moot, would you? Hey, check out the loser who's moot. That's what they'll say. See? No, you don't, because I'm looking out for ya. Don't return the favor. I'm Lyle Wrath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that's visible to the invisible. Alright, I got a message for all of you armchair psychologists out there. I see you all connecting the dots of my path of vengeance as you watch me like an animal through one-way glass, because I've been watching you like an animal through one-way glass, and our cork boards look pretty much the same. You think you've got me all figured out? You've just been figuring yourself like an 8 on a campsite. But I don't judge how you spend your Wednesdays. Maybe I just go where I'm needed. You ever think of that? Like the American Bakers Association doesn't have enough blood on their hands for this not to be personal? You don't psychoanalyze a meteor, you just hope it's coming. Is it too much to ask for that same level of support? I'm Lyle Wrath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that's also a force of nature. Alright, listen up gamers, things are about to get a little crazy. As you know, I am the ultimate gamer. I was granted the Excalibur controller by Miyamoto himself, and he told me that Mario is my dad. That's right, Mario is real, and he is my dad. Now as you know, E3 is incoming, and this is a video game news show, or at least usually it is. But E3 is pretty easy to watch and experience on your own, and is overly covered, like my chest in this G Fuel infused whipped cream. Calm down, gamer girls. I can't be distracted right now. The game is too important. Point is, if you want to keep up with E3, you can watch the conferences, or there will be plenty of coverage on Destructoid.com. I'm gonna do the same thing I do every year, which is not so much news, but more a conga line of shit talk. I'm Lyle Wrath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show for honest and true gamers. Game on. That's my new catchphrase, is game on. What am I? A stranded king in a dead god's eye. A slippery pupa and a chrysalis of baby toys. I show you faces and you demand blood. I give you blood and you laugh. But no one's around to say dude all judgy like, dude, this doesn't have to be an existential crisis. It's just gotta be a good fucking time. But we can have both now, can't we? I'm Lyle Wrath, and this is usually Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that carves rivets into the smooth brain of culture. But now the threest of these is open for vengeance, and its softened underbelly yearns for a me-shaped hole. If you've been here before, then you know the score. No game, no hype, those is the rules. Let's fucking do this! What took you so long? You look surprised to see me. It's almost like, oh, right. I keep forgetting. Hey, you want to hear my you impression? Yes, I'm in a forward rate. Pretty good, right? We have fun here. Anyway, I'm just getting back into the swing of things, catching up on some old vengeances. That over there probably needs to die at some point, but I'll get to that later. Earlier for you. It's good to be back. All right, let's rock. I'm Lyle Wrath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that strikes perpendicular to the soul. Video games. They think they're such hot shit. Look at them up there. Hey! Get down from there! shit. Mark my words. I will seek out a broom or something, and once it is obtained, video games shall be brought down to the height of man, where we shall meet them eye to eye and peer into their soul as they so long have done to us. What lies within? What do you have? Spit it out! Hey, no! Drop it! Oh, I will take you outside, video games. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show. Go lay down! Hey, no! Go lay down! You know, I don't say this a lot because I figured it was implied, but you really should be listening to me. I know my shit. Doctors hate me and my one simple trick. It's called a kickflip, and it's basically an all-access pass to ass, cash, and grass. These medically accredited fucks are just bitter that I took them to school and gave them a 3rd degree without the student loan debt. But you know how it goes. You can bring the naysayers to Kool-Aid, but you can't make them drink. That is a horse joke, and I am the Jonestown jockey. And if you needed me to explain that, then you're not keeping pace. But I don't expect you to be able to play my game. That's why I tell you about the other ones. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that keeps your sensory holes pointed in the right direction. Stop, hold on, I know what this looks like. Do we really need to do this old song and dance again? I messed with the laws of nature because I was horny. Give a guy a break, fuck you. Look me in the eyes and tell me if you had a clone of yourself that you wouldn't give it tits. But for once, this isn't about tits. It's about understanding. And by that I mean we need to have an understanding that anything that happens here doesn't leave this room. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that can go fuck itself. They say that your worst enemy is yourself. And if I believed that, it would be very convenient for my actual worst enemy. Now wouldn't it? This proverbial they seems to be just full of quirky little adages that might throw me off a greater trail. Were my highly trained senses not attuned to such trickery? I'm killing a stone with a bird, whether it be in a hand or a bush, and no amount of flowery wordplay can convince me that no blood will come of it. I don't often exact revenge. Usually I just approximate it, and the results are good enough. But this time a mystery is afoot, and a foot needs a shoe that fits, lest we leave the world to the likes of those. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that will tell feet, but not show them. Overwatch? Oh, god damn it, there was one rule! Listen, it's not you, it's me. Sometimes I just need my space. Ha! Space pun! This wasn't a breakup scenario, this is a I'm taking over space scenario, and you fell for it. I do need my space, and this whole nebula is mine now. Wanna see a planet blow up? Boom! Don't worry, as far as I know, nobody was on that one. Oh shit. That dinner table was super expensive, but it was very worth it to see the look on your face. You know, you really should try not popping in here in medias res. There's a lot of setup that goes into these. And you know what? It's all to get that smile. Okay, let's just fucking start. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that... Oh, fuck, that's a guy chunk. I should have double checked. God damn it. I genocided again. Fuck! All right, let's get down to business. I've got my business briefcases laid out. I took myself a nice business bath. I ate a big business bowl of business beans. My fax machine is plugged in. That's all business, as a matter of facts. You think I fax machine for pleasure? No, because this is video games, and video games is serious business. I'm not playing when it comes to video games. I'm only businessing. If I started a Let's Play, it would be called a Let's Business, because what is this bit? I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that's in the business of business, and business is good. You know, when I started this show, I made myself a promise that I would never get avant-garde. But recently I've been thinking about this orange spot in the middle of this teal canvas. Basically, if you don't like that, you probably don't get it, and maybe you should take a closer look. Yeah, shame on you. Now, far be it from me to tell you what is or isn't art, but listen. Did you hear it? I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show to show you the only video game. Team Fortress 2 may be switching engines to Source Engine 2. In a recent patch, data miners were able to find some stray code that points to file extensions only associated with Source Engine 2, such as, that intro was really annoying, and, oh god, we're still in it, aren't we? When asked for comment, a representative from Valve said, if this is the first episode of the show that you've seen, they're not usually like this. But they're not either. Hey, dipshit, open the window! Wait, you responded to dipshit? I'd say we should talk about your self-esteem, but this show isn't about you. It's about vengeance. And kinda sort of video games, if we have time for it. And at the end of the day, I think that we can all learn a lot from that. Even you, dipshit. Because maybe, if we could all just listen and stop making things about ourselves, we wouldn't be getting pushed around and called names by drunken, sleep-deprived bullies exploiting the non-interactive, linear format of video to enact vengeance. Maybe in time, we'll have some sort of way to interact with video. But until then, don't be the dipshit that takes this train off the rails and gets lost. Damn it. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that even gets me sometimes. Subject matter. What have those Poindexters at the Large Hard-On Collider done for me lately? So you printed out a long page. Big whoop. You want to know what the real antimatter is? This shit boring, yawn. If it mattered any less, it would be your degree.
I'm accredited by one of the highest-ranking universities in
Snoozeville, USA. God, what else do scientists like? Warning the population about things? We're not gonna listen. Give me more antibiotics. I don't need them. I just want them. You really want to see a breakthrough? Let me into the machine and then turn on the machine, you cowards. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that has unwarranted bullying down to a science. I don't get political on this show a lot, and for good reason. Mainly that I don't believe in politics. If you've seen so many politics, then why don't you draw a politic? Come on, show me what it looks like. That's right, goose egg. Why don't you take a gander at that, you ugly dickling? You can prattle on about the minutia of how abstract concepts don't have physical forms all you want. Because if you want to do that at all, you're a doofus. You're a gink. You're a fucking plumbo. Call that ass the ballot box, because I'm not giving you the satisfaction of sticking anything in it. Democracy is an illusion, as is society. Live in a shed in the woods with your gold like a smart person, you idiot. You're so on the grid right now, it's embarrassing. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that keeps its gun in a mattress, which is also a gun.
Yo, everyone needs to chill out. Go with the flow. Flow like the wind. Blow like the job. Get a job. Work on yourself. Unionize. A union of you. Sinful. Go to hell. Hell is where the heart is, which is why you open your heart. As a business, incorporate. It's an LLC now. It can go bankrupt without you going bankrupt. Bankrupt Hellheart LLC. That's what you'll call it. On the phone, because you're in Panama avoiding taxes. I never told you to do that. But I'm not judging, because I'm not a judge or a collector. But if those ever do catch up with you, remember to leave my name out of it. You go with the flow and sometimes it doesn't work out. That's just the titties, my friend. And you know what they say, the bigger the titty, the heavier the flow. This is heavy shit. Everyone needs to chill out. I'm Lyle Rath.
And this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that's marginally more unpleasant when it's not screaming. You know, I don't plan much, but I do drink. And sometimes, in brief moments of lucidity, things all just come together at once. And then no one has to eat the biscuit. It's been a long time and a very long road we've shared together. And do I consider you a friend? Well, no, not even remotely. You're better than a friend. You're an enabler. And as an internet personality, that's all I need. Just someone to sit here and listen, because if you hear the sound of me dying, I need you to touch the orb. Not now, just if it happens. Jesus Christ, I've done this 4 times, you know. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that's been waiting a very long time for this moment. My turgid friends, my salacious enablers, we're finally here. The 100th episode of Pregame Discharge. You know, it's times like these that make me remember why I do it in the first place. To obtain vengeance on Thoth, the Egyptian god of knowledge. You sippy chicken looking ass shit receptacle. You thought you were so smart. Well, joke's on you, you cauterized dick tip of a fuck ass. I've spent 100 weeks and 2 E3s commandeering the very definition of knowledge. You don't know jack fuck anymore, you idiot flamingo bitch. Do you hear the sounds of thousands of fingers cacophonously touching the orb? Not now, I won. This is what it was all for, and it was so worth it. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that showed those. Look at it! Look at it! Ugh, I think I partied too hard last night. And by that I mean I was too hard for the party. I broke it. But now that it's party broken, at least it won't go on the carpet anymore. It'll instead wait by the door for me to let it out. And make no mistake, I am aware that unleashing my party unto the world will have consequences. But sometimes to have a party, you need to break a couple worlds. The party has gone from broken to breaking, and I couldn't be more proud. But sometimes it's good to remember that the true party was in here all along. It's a part of you, and you have to accept it. Or break it, because otherwise, you'll end up going on the carpet. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that's 1 part party and Y parts you. You know, sometimes, but not often, I ask myself questions. Why do I keep doing this? I followed a funny little creature to a mystical land of whimsy, and now I'm fucking lost. I am absolutely awash with whimsy right now. I've been whimsy washed. Do you think this is some kind of a joke? Surely I do not jest. Help me, Shirley, you serendipitous bitch. If you click your heels 3 times together. Wait, no, shit, that was Wendy. Wendy was the Wizard of Oz.
No, Wendy.
Dorothy. Fuck, that one doesn't work at all. I need to Dorothy out of here so I can fucking leave-a-thee. That's all you're getting. That's all you're getting right now. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that paints itself silver and huffs aluminum dust. I don't know the main character's name, but I know the onset injuries. What is wrong with me? Not to sound like a hypocrite potamus orthetical, but a 4th thing that I've never fancied myself is a revolutionary. Now I know I may have sparked several revolutions or severolutions, and yes, multiple publications have referred to me as, quote, Rosa Parks but darker, but they were talking about subject matter. At least, I assume. My point is, none of that is by design. It is like my birth, a great cosmic accident. For the slippery mitten of destitution is fated to slide off a permanently clenched fist, and one that is naturally magnetized to all sorts of trifling is a plus or minus depending on what pull you're at. Suck shit, voting. The system is a process, and I can't even process half of what the fuck I'm saying right now. And if that's not grounds for a revolution, then I literally do not know what is. Which, judging by my track record, is likely. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that will always overthrow. Alright, I got a bit of an unpopular vengeance this week. Children. Hold up, let me explain. First of all, why do they get all the charities? They only live like 12 years anyway. Second, and I'm just gonna say it, they're shitty pets. They scream, they throw their poop, they carry all kinds of parasites. They're meant to be out in the wild. You get one in your house, you hear it scuttling around in the walls, next thing you know, there's like 16 of them in your house is a school. If I saw a nest of child eggs, I would smash them without hesitation. People say things like, children are our future. I fucking hope not. What, you want your first baby president, you stupid dickhead? And every time I brought that up, everyone just goes, oh, that's just a figure of speech. And then completely straight-faced will say something like, you were a child once. What? No, I wasn't. What are you talking about? I don't understand people sometimes. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that says children have to go. Video games are for adults. Ah, the smell of shrieks is in the air. It seems as though the ghosts are out in full. A holiday for ye, but not for me. For my past is full of ghosts, and each ghost a piece of a larger ghost puzzle, which when unpuzzled culminates in, and I contractually have to call it this, the ghost with the most. And along the coast is an ocean of ghosts. A ghost ocean. A ghostion. Goshen. Many ghosts have gone into the ocean. They drowned. You want to know the true terror? It's that you're in a water safety seminar now, you dink. You stooge. Look around, am I there anymore? Nope, I'm having fun in the bath without a worry in the world because I didn't fucking attend. This was really supposed to be a Halloween episode. Why does this always happen? I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that's ended up in the bath yet again. O ye wayward one, spit unto my arms and receive unto thee a slapping most vigorous. I'm gonna be talking like this for the whole intro, so there's your warning to get out now. For I have been stricken, much like the many backhands which may befall thine visage. For verily doth a vengeance precede itself as far more profound if spoken, as the sanctimonious frou-frous of old, and old has a E at the end of it. Thine tongue doth gingerly draw them out like a timid pussy, of which sort may be left to the mind's whimsy, but not for yestermorrow's trouncing mayhap of ones partaking of theatrics. 'Tis already been wrought by such butchery of the form. Art! Finally, someone stuck it to theater nerds, a previously unbullied demographic. Let's roll, gamers. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that just did that. All right, I know what you're gonna say, and I know what this looks like, and I know it seems as though I've rendered unto this earth a hole most foul. But call me T.I. because I've got this whole situation under control. Call me Louis Satcher because I'm known for writing holes. Call me Ronnie James Dio because something holy diver. Listen, I'm not hourly for these. I just need to figure out how to exact vengeance unto a hole. I can typically guarantee vengeance on anything, anywhere, but a hole is kind of a lack of a thing and a lack of a where. And don't get me wrong, I can tear up a hole, but that just tends to make them bigger. Point is, I've got a handle on this hole. A hole handle. Lay back and relax while I handle this hole. It's a nice grip to take it and put it somewhere else. Literally and laterally and figuratively. A hole can take you anywhere if you just let it. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game hole with a show in it. Idiots! I have mastered calm. I am but a babbling brook of serenity, and ye a slippery salmon, woefully trying to swim upstream. I pity you as I peacefully clip my bonsai tree and rake my sand in my room of sand. A rational purchase, to be sure. You would see that were your vision not clouded by a general sense of unrest. Unlike me, a calm person! Fuck! Why is this askew? The feng shui in this room is a delicate fucking balance! I refuse to let this vibe I have going get harshed! I am a pillar of tranquility! I'm Lyle Rath! And this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that basks in stillness! Fools! I've pulled the wool over your eyes yet again. Your big woolly eyes can see nothing. How many fingers am I holding up? Wrong! It was this many! A different number than what you thought, much like the thermostat, which I have adjusted to my liking. Feeling cold yet? No? Perhaps you would, were your eyes not coated in cozy insulating wool. You're welcome. So many good deeds go unseen nowadays, which is why I'd like to shine a light on the ones that do happen. Mine, which I definitely have been doing, and especially right now. It's like that movie Mr. Deeds, but good. If only you could see it, but it's over. It's left the theaters. It's all done. 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Critics say destroy it immediately. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show you can definitely trust. Well, I was wondering when the coward would show up. I am assembling an army of elite soldiers brave enough to do my laundry and such. And where were you? Somewhere else. You know who else is somewhere else? The terrorists. And if you don't vacuum in here, they win. For too long, we've stood idly by, but no more. You wash the dishes. I will stand at the ready and valiantly defend the dishes from all harm that may befall them. It's a hard job, but that's why I'm here, so you can do the easy ones. You're welcome. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that shoulders the gamer's burden. I don't often say this, and maybe I should more, but there's a reason why people call me the LeBron James of gaming. When LeBron James discovered America in 1492 and built the first basketball court, he said, I probably should invent basketball, so this all makes sense to idiots. And for 40 days and 40 nights did it rain Air Jordans. Anyway, the point is, much like LeBron James, I cannot tell a lie, and I did chop down the cherry tree. But I'm also better than everybody else at what I do, because everyone else is out here playing checkers, while I am playing basketball. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that understands sports a little better than you do, I think, you dweeb. You may be wondering what I'm doing this week. It's nothing. I'm trying to vengeance philosophy, and I don't have any ideas, which means I'm winning. You professional existers think you're untouchable because you've stopped at the step one of doing literally anything. But I'll show you. I will achieve a level of thought so useless that the naturally scuttling hamster of the mind shall come to a stop in its wheel. The complete absence of every form of intent. A perfect equilibrium of worthlessness from which I can sneer, lacking any vulnerability that might come from ambition. The ultimate philosopher, the ultimate critic, not only not doing anything, but scoffing at the prospect of thinking about doing anything. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that thinks better than the people that think they're better than you. I emerge from my angry little chrysalis once more, eager and slimy for the next adventure. But first, there have been some changes around here. Let me show you. This is the foyer. It's used for throwing people off of the foyer, whence they pronounce it foyer. Welcome to America. Here we have the vengeance room, one of them. There's a few more. They're pretty much all the same. This is the mysterious new hole. Don't ask questions about it. This is the kitchen. I just redid the tile in here. I think it looks a lot nicer. An upside-down chamber of immortalized shrieks, forever imprisoned in a maelstrom of... Here's the guest bathroom. Douglas Fir Tree is still here. Oh, right. The dead god's eye that can peer into all things, past, present, and future, so long as it pertains to video game news and isn't in the future. Care to take a look? I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that renovates without embezzling. No, you can't see my budget sheet. That's kind of personal. Now, I know what you're thinking. And don't worry, I'm not gonna say it so the whole internet can hear. Cause after all, the www.worldwideweb.net is a strange place, is it not? With all the burger zuckers trying to brisket away your personal information for their replicant needs. To them, you are but a publicity lamb to be pat on the head and then swiftly blended up into aggregate data hot dog. That's why you need someone like me in your corner, who thinks you're worthless. Also, I've discovered you can pretty much just make up any social security number you want. Check it out. 78213 543, and it's me, Janice Williams. I'm a chameleon. I can be anywhere, any when, and most importantly, you have no significant value to me. You're welcome. I'm Janice Williams, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that would know if you died tomorrow, but wouldn't care. All right, now I wasn't supposed to say this, but the CIA and I have been talking, and you know what? You're not a kid anymore, so I think it's time that somebody finally told you. Space? It's fake. Aliens? Totally real, but they're guys in suits. And astronauts have been guys in suits the whole time. Wake up. Outer space, now that's real, and also it's coming for us, but that's a topic for when you're older. Point is, if you go to space and you touch it, it'll fall over like a big piece of wood. A guy in a beret will angrily scream, "Cut!" on a megaphone. You'll see interns getting coffee. It totally threw me off the first time I went to space, but you'll get used to it. In short, you're going to space. Goodbye. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that hurls you into the great known, because I just told ya. You know, being the ultimate gamer isn't easy. In fact, it's quite difficult. More difficult, in fact, than physical labor, such as construction. It may take 3 to 4 guys to build a house, but it takes a village to unlock all these mad chivos. And I am but one gamer doing the work of a village alone. But has society yet given me the $1 million and girlfriend that I deserve? I had to take a modeling gig on the side just so I could afford a second Lamborghini. An outrage by any reasonable metric, yet do I complain? Yes! Because I am a gamer, and that's what gamers do. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that deserves it. I guess it's finally time to do this, huh? I didn't say anything about it because it's not gonna be easy. And frankly, I wanted to protect you from the truth. Now I have to unearth something that I buried deep down long ago. It's my shovel. And I realize I didn't think that out very well, but what you gotta understand is we live in a stupid fucking world, and 9 times out of 10, thinking just slows you down. Is this the 10th time? Yes! But what about the other times? I think I did pretty good. Or I don't think I did pretty good. Shit! Okay, 9 out of 11 times! Wait, damn it, I didn't mean to say that! Okay, I'm just digging myself a deeper hole with this, but that's just because I don't have a... 10 for 10, bitch! Take that shovel and shove it, cause I made a hole-in-one without it! Don't rack your brain thinking about if the logistics of that golf joke work, cause I sure didn't! I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that fuck you! The sun rises on a new day. But how new is it? Really? What came first? The day or the egg? A futile ponderance constructed by the day chicken to throw me off its trail. Like the rest of the day sheep, slavishly devoted to calendars. In this metaphorical barnyard of cultish compliance. My point is, I'm not sorry for forgetting your birthday. In fact, you should be apologizing to me for having a birthday. When I say happy, you say I'm sorry. Happy. Good job! You really showed that fucking hen. That's definitely real. I done seen it down by the b-ball court. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that doesn't play games. Your Honor, today I stand accused of murdering puss, crushing clunge, slaughtering sliz, and public urination. Now, there's no denying that I certainly thrash my share of gash. I mean, I am a gamer. But last time I checked, that isn't a crime. I don't know why you brought it to the attention of the jury. If you're trying to paint my character as an oscillating hunk who definitely gives the clamor his red meat hammer and pounds out pleasure pearls, then congratulations, you've done it. Nobody ever doubted that. I never said I wasn't the Barry Bonds of backwall baseball. But I ask you this, in this beautiful free country, is it illegal to have more sex than your dad? To view the booty call as duty's call? To take a whiz in a Macy's or deliver an urgent package to Tuna Town whenever it's ordered? I mean, it shouldn't be. I rest my case. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that'll hit it and acquit it. So this week, I'm not yelling about anything, but don't panic. I've just been doing some soul searching. And in my search, I've found most every kind of soul, from the jazz kind to the screaming semi-transparent head kind. I'm also not wearing any shoes. And if you're guessing that's because it's some kind of soul pun, you're wrong. It's just that when you go soul searching, you become that kind of weird, dirty person. Look, I can acknowledge that this is a phase, but I found something more important than souls in my big proverbial Easter egg hunt for ghosts. I found oil, and it made me realize that it doesn't really matter who you are. You don't need to find inner peace or self-actualization. You just have to find oil, or gold, or any kind of jewel. And that's the most important spirit of all, because that is the spirit of Christmas. Merry March 6th to all, and to all a good night. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that's truly found itself. Well, suck my holes and call me Aunt Colleen. You've got a lot of nerve showing your face around here, because this is Face Taker Mountain, where they take your face and such. For example, right now you may see my face on a slightly out of shape body, which may strike you as strange, for I am known to be extraordinarily jacked. I assure you I still am. This is like that movie Face / Off, starring Nicolas Cage and John Travolta. Therefore, I am eating all this pizza for vengeance purposes. That way, when John Travolta gets his body... Wait, when Nicolas Cage how did that movie work again? This is like that, but the point is, he'll be fat when we face switch again. I won't be fat. I mean, I never have been fat. Wait, no, I'm Nicolas Cage. It's never been me. Well, it's been me the times I was jacked. It's not me. It was a face swap. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the perfect lie that the only video game show has never told. What's spankin', gamers? Rehearsing your insinuations that your life was any different before you were told to stay inside? I'm convinced. And while I am doing my part by lurking exclusively within the Great Hole, I assure you that the only thing about me at risk of getting sick is my kickflips. But for the first time in my life, and I don't like admitting this, I am scared. Not for myself, but for my prized Douglas fir tree. It's not safe for it here. I've made the very hard decision to launch it into space. It's okay, baby girl, don't cry. This is for your own good. Do it. I will find you! I will find you! I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that makes the hard choices that need to be made. They say the greatest enemy is the one you cannot see, a foe without a face to be marked for vengeance. I used to think no faceless mark could pose a threat, but now I see the old proverb holds true. So this message goes out to whoever the hell is in the bathroom. Come on, what the fuck? You know this door doesn't separate me from actually going, right? The only thing in there for me is the shackles of civilization. I will unleash the beast within, and it's carpeted out here. Hey! If you don't answer me, I'm just gonna... Oh. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that gets off the pot long before it shits. So you think you can come to my show having foregone your daily stretches? Idiot! I have become limber. There comes a time in everyone's life where they must choose how to bend. Over or otherwise. I chose otherwise. Maybe you would have too had you not long ago dropped the proverbial contact lens of a contortionist perspective. A contortact lens, if you will. And much like your shame, it is transparent. Since I began my campaign of yoga, I have pretended to feel healthier than anyone who has ever lived, which makes me the best at it. None shall live, laugh, love in my way, yet I shall never stop recommending it. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that's just had so much more energy lately.
You know, I've been asked a lot, how do you sleep at night? And I've given a lot of answers. With your mother, upside down, on a mattress full of gold. I bet you really fucking wished you would've listened to me now, don't you? But the truth is, I just ain't no Betty Bye bitch. While you were wearing your nightcap and tucking yourself in with a big warm glass of yummy milk, I was becoming the night. And now that the night has been thoroughly cummed, I can tell you this. There are no manner of pajamas that can undo the mistakes we've made. Like not buying gold or creating the world's most uncomfortable mattress. But that doesn't mean that our dreams aren't equally as stupid to anyone else's. We all end up naked when it's time for the important presentation. Whether or not your eyes are open is the choice. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that is sometimes profound and usually prolost. This is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show that... You Mayflower bitch! When you buckled your hat this morning, you had no idea what you were in for. You've been playing Plymouth Rock with your diaper on for far too long. Face too stuffed with Thanksgivings to even see what's right in front of you. What I'm saying is, you are a pilgrim, while I am the Columbus of gaming. And I'm kind of hoping all the racist implications of that cancel out like a Long Island iced tea. Did I mention I've been drinking? The point is, I discovered gaming. A little Mario frozen in amber contained the DNA sequence perfectly preserved. I was so preoccupied with whether or not I could, I didn't stop to think if I should, but I'm glad I did. I'm Lyle Rath, and this is Pregame Discharge, the only video game show from a time before land. There are people that think about going to space, and there are people that go to space. Anyone who thinks about it realizes it's a bad idea, and anyone who goes to space clearly never thought it through. And even by that metric, this was as ill-conceived as my signature skateboarding trick, the sick flip. Every single twinkle that lights up the stupid-ass night sky is hot gas and bullshit. If half of them disappeared, would you notice? The moon is a soundstage because the real one sucks. But if you asked me to do it all again, I would without a first thought. Because it's bad ideas that bring us together. Isn't that right, my old friend? Yeah, you're welcome. Look, I never thought I'd say this. I don't even know if I really mean it. But video games isn't about vengeance. I mean, right now it's about firing a Douglas fir tree into space and then finding the Douglas fir tree in space. But that's not really the point either. Vengeance is the journey, sure. And sometimes the journey is more important than the destination. But you never really know until you get there. You might not even know when you are. As long as you got something out of it. Does it even fucking matter? That's the point of video games.